Hi, good evening everyone. So welcome to today's edition of Poetry Live. My name is Dion D'souza. I hope everyone's doing well and that you're staying safe. So I'll be reading today from my first collection of poems called Three Doors. Before I start, let me thank Ashwini Kumar and the Kitab Khana team for making me part of this initiative and giving me the opportunity to share my poems with you through this digital medium. So, and we're currently living through a very tremendously challenging and in many ways bizarre phase in human history, which has of all of us locked up inside our homes. So I thought it would be a good occasion for me to select those poems that zoom in on the domestic interiors and focus on the everyday objects around us. So I'll start with a poem that's called very simply Wall Poem. Wall Poem. It is worrying that the perfection of a newly painted wall should be so soon and easily marred, that the newness of nothing eventually lasts. Nothing withstands the assaults of time. Ageless ruins survive, bearing their shattering testimonies of how freshness turns foul, how decay, having gnawed away at novelty, stares at you out of 100 soft, sad, porous, triumphant eyes. You feel anger, helplessness, a vague sense of regret, something that a new coat would fail miserably to repair. All the same, the heady scent of fresh paint, evanescent spirit of courageous comfort. So continuing in this vein, I'll move to a poem called The Secret Life of Objects. The Secret Life of Objects. Imbued with the spirit of electricity, the kettle shrieks. It stings the air with tongues of steam, smouldering with speech. You must only listen. Door, chair, window, table. At sunrise, the square pane of a shut window, immolated, rests your vision. Even in a dark room, the wooden surface of a table quietly beams into the silence, sturdy evidence of its life. Do they know we are deaf and blind? I'll move on to the title poem of my collection. It's called Three Doors. And this poem is divided into three sections, each one of which revolves around one dictionary meaning of the word door. So I'll first read out the meanings of the word and then the corresponding sections. Three doors. Door. Noun, often attributive. A movable piece of wood, glass or metal that swings or slides open and shut so that people can enter or leave a room, building, vehicle, etc. The opening for a door. The entrance to a room or building, doorway. A means of access or participation, opportunity. 1. A door opens and closes. One door opens, the same door closes. Another one opens. A labyrinth of doors. Enter while you may, leave while you can. Glass, wood, tin or tarpaulin. What matter the material? No struggling salesman. You are condemned to live your life forever from door to door. 2. Entrance or egress to enclosure of space. You're outside or within, because you do not want to remain too long in a door frame, except when jammed with hesitation, or in the split seconds when calamity comes knocking. 3. Stay indoors if you like, but leave the door open. Let what happens behind closed doors remain there. The postman will ring twice, maybe more than that, if it's festival season. Opportunity will do you no such favors. Go seeking yourself. Be quick. Get a toe in, if not a foot. Sneak in through the back door, if you must. The stable door will of course be barred. Take the doors you are shown, and remember, it's no good later laying something there. Chimes, charms, the shoe of a horse that didn't flee, the door benighted. Think of a door frame, the simple hardy fact of its neat rectangular jambs. Stay hinged to it. It is little things like this that let you shut out doubt. I'll move now to the second section of my book, which takes a more inward turn, and I envision these poems as short and meditations on the self, its nature, its obligations and responsibilities. King. He takes off his head at the end of the day, lays it aside like a crown. The sleep. In your dreams, you awake from a deep sleep, and then awake, and then again you try, but cannot. This next poem is about someone who's under a self-imposed quarantine, so it's not a quarantine that's necessitated by a global pandemic. Circumstances. The phone continues to ring, persistent. You are in a room, or what seems to be one. The blinds drawn, the air grey. You float, somewhere between floor and ceiling, passive or struggling. Like a fish in a net, at times it gets very violent. The ringing of the phone dissolves into itself. You remain where you are. Now substitute the phone with the firing of arms or the yelling of a frenzied mob. You can still remain a fish though, if that's what you want, until the room dissolves. I'll move next to a poem that sprang from a line from a short story by James Baldwin, the American author. And this from a short story called Sony's Blues. So I'll first read out the epigraph and then the poem. All that hatred down there, he said. All that hatred and misery and love. It's a wonder it doesn't blow the avenue apart. The avenue. You think, any moment now, it's too much to take, but nothing happens. The clocks keep ticking, the strays keep licking, the cars keep honking, the people keep walking, and nothing happens. Everything is as it was meant to be. The green signal relieves the clogged road. I'll move next to a poem which was written for a friend, and although it is about a very well-known superstition, it's also about looking back on a past self, a self that has been through a very difficult phase, a phase of turmoil and uncertainty, but now moved on to a calmer place. And this sort of retrospection is, I'm sure, something that we will all do once we're through this crisis that we're currently in the midst of. Hopefully very soon we'll be past it and through it. Black kitten. Walking into the street, the heat hits as only heat can. Or a mother's words maybe, and sometimes a perfect stranger's. We are surprised at the sight of this black kitten in our path, thankfully not crossing it. And yet, what harm, what ill luck could this scrawny creature inflict? stumbling on thin legs from under a wire fence and almost onto death's familiar doorstep. Once you wanted to set fire to everything, to make the world burn. Today, you bend before the kitten, stroking its famished body, its black stub of a chin. I'll just read two more poems. Not quite sure what I should pick. So this one's called 11th October 2003. It is one of those days when words refuse to come easily. When you have tea breath and your head feels heavy. When angels, fair and feathered, grumble. When horned devils seem holy. Memories come unbidden of a girl who crafted dolls by entwining candy wrappers around sticks from brooms, of wearing rubber slippers and padding to the beach, wet pink soles receding with foamy waves in squishy sand, of a mock turtle who offered to hold my hand, of a boy who always wanted, cried into a pillow, of a man and woman who sewed and left me low. I'm going to end with a poem by the American poet Denis Levertov, and this is a poem that carries a very strong message of hope and optimism, qualities that we need right now. And although it's about writing, and I don't think its message is limited to writers, it applies just as well to anything that you believe in and that you're passionate about, and that you need to keep persevering with. Writing in the dark. It's not difficult. Anyway, it's necessary. Wait till morning and you'll forget. And who knows if morning will come. Fumble for the light and you'll be stark awake. But the vision will be fading, slipping out of reach. You must have paper at hand, a felt tip pen. Ballpoints don't always flow. Pencil points tend to break. There's nothing shameful in that much prudence. Those are your tools. Never mind about crossing your T's, dotting your I's, but take care not to cover one word with the next. Practice will reveal how one hand instinctively comes to the aid of the other to keep each line clear of the next. Keep writing in the dark, a record of the night, or words that pulled you from depths of unknowing, words that flew through your mind, strange birds, crying their urgency with human voices, or opened as flowers of a tree that blooms only once in a lifetime, words that may have the power to make the sun rise again. That's it from me, and please do take good care of yourselves and stay safe, and stay tuned in because we have several more poets and lots more interesting poetry. Goodbye.